So let me just begin with a short introduction.
Okay.
My name is Maria and I work for Curators. Tonight we're sitting with Ayça Okay to talk about her practice, and this event is a part of Curators Members Quiz events. So these are short Instagram live interviews with our members in which we introduce them to our audiences and talk about their work. So yeah, I think I'll just give a brief introduction to Ayça. I can see people are still joining.
We have like,
yeah.
I don't know, almost 30 people, which is okay for a Monday, I guess, right? It's not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you everyone for joining, and yes, please stay with us. It's really, really lovely to see more people joining. So yeah, I'll just briefly introduce Ayça, and this event will have two parts. The first part being short questions, ABC questions, quiz questions to Ayça to kind of find out more what she thinks about these introductory questions, and then questions about your practice and more kind of more specifically about your practice. So Ayça Okay is an IKA and CIMAM member, independent curator, researcher, arts and culture professional. She lives between Istanbul and Berlin. And in her practice, she gives strong emphasis to research-based curatorial projects. She cultivates intellectual resources, shares knowledge, and creates a sustainable support system. So that's a very, very short introduction, but we'll hear more from you, Ayça, about what you do.
Hopefully, yes.
So yeah, let me start with the first.
I'm ready, by the way, yes.
Yeah, let me start with the first question. So the first question is, if possible, where would you like to curate an exhibition?
That's a good one.
Yeah, A, that's an aquarium, B, a shopping mall, and C, a mountain trail.
Yeah, that's a hard one actually, because I don't know actually, like, do I have the budget? Because my zodiac sign is Scorpio, so you have to be really precise about everything. That if I have budget, definitely I go for the mountain trail. But if I don't have any budget, like the right production team, I don't know, like all the specific things that I have to curate a good exhibition, probably, I don't know, like it's just blinking on me. So yes, I will definitely go for the mountain trail. Even if I don't have the budget, it's okay. Yes.
Yeah, let's assume you don't. Let's assume you have all the money in the world.
And also, yeah, I have so many things to say if I curate in an exhibition in a shopping mall, because we are living in a country that there are so many shopping malls, and trust me, like it's kind of it's going to be a different narrative in a shopping mall. So definitely mountain trail is my type of curation then. Yes.
Perfect, thank you. So I'll go to the second question. Which of these three arts events is your favorite? So we have A, art fairs, B, exhibition openings, and C, biennales or biennials.
Probably biennials, because they have this link between the public and the artist and the artistic creation. Definitely biennials are supporting the whole artistic creation, and it's kind of like a stimulating thing for the whole creative process. And the second thing is probably they also give the curators to be kind of free, and also they encourage them to experiment something, like we always see some experimental stuff, like the installations and also like the way of curating in the biennials. So as a curator, I would say that biennials, because it has this like unique link between the public, and also it's a nice thing to be, to experiment something there. Biennials for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So the third and the last question in this part is, if you could go to a dinner organized by a historical art movement or a group, who would it be? So A, we have Surrealists, B, Fluxus, and C, Impressionists.
Oh, that's a nice question though, because the dinner can be nice with the old masters, the conversation, I can imagine the conversation could be nice there, but also with the surrealists, I can, like I experiment something different for sure, like it could be a whole different narrative there. So both of them, I guess. I prefer both of them. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be fun.
definitely. I think a surrealist dinner would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
definitely something very, very unique. Um, so yeah, thank you. That's I think these three questions kind of give a little bit of insight into kind of, the way you think about curatorial work and curatorial practice. So let's delve into your work more specifically. And let's just start off by kind of an introduction to your journey into curating your practice and the Turkish art scene where you operate. Yeah, could you just give us a little intro?
Actually, like I was prepared for this because I bring something with me, which is so funny because it all started with this painting. You see that one? This is me painting. Anyway, I think yeah, my mom kept this one for me because she's so proud of this painting. Anyway, it all started with this because I was really obsessed about painting, like theatrical stuff, like performing and mostly creative stuff. But in my teenage years, it changed because of, like families can promote their children to step into something more solid rather than art. They support you in something in a different way. So after university, like after college, I actually educated for something else, for running a family business. So afterwards, I changed the whole career and stepped into the curating because I always had this passion. So I just finished my education. Like I'm writing my thesis right now. So it kind of shifted 5 years ago, let's say. And but over the years, I was like a huge, enthusiastic person about all these art events. Like I've been following all, and yeah, it was always inside me, but it came out late, let's say. So what was the following part of the question?
Yeah, could you tell us about your practice? You mentioned your thesis. Probably would be interesting as well to hear about what your thesis is and the art scene that you're in.
Yeah, actually, like let me go from my education again because I think it's important because I know that people wanted to switch their careers into, into arts and culture, and they don't have any kind of opportunity to do that. So in the high school, actually, I had too many disciplinary punishments and stuff. So I was not a good student, and because I always like have to, I always try to study, behave and work as like against the system. Like, it was kind of different for me. I couldn't fit in that time. So that was my whole curating journey started from, I think, from that part of my life. And yeah, because I have never seen curating as like juxtaposing artworks like together. It was always like the morning walks, always about the music, always about the conversations with the friends, always about the cab rides and so on. So, and I was super sensitive what's going on around me. So with this whole sensitivity and, let's say, kind of like having the ability to link everything between like around me, I think that's like shaped my curatorial practice somehow. And because to me it was always like listening, writing, reading, these kind of practicing the whole things that makes the thing as a process. So in the beginning of your speech, you said that I'm working as a research-based curator and I care about the process so much, like cultivating all the resources and stuff. So that's how the whole thing came up together and become the whole process-based way of working. And one thing I want to add, actually, I was super impatient at first, like super impatient person, and to experience all these like aspects, like to experience all the listening, like learning, and the things that I said before, it actually shaped my character in a good way, and it made me a more patient person. So I think it's super related to my character too. That kind of personal thing, I guess. But my curatorial practice is super personal and also super related to the whole processes that I've experienced. Let's say yes, I think.
Yeah, thank you. So you mentioned kind of that very nicely leads into my question. I think you mentioned something, one very interesting about you kind of taking your time to realize that you want to pursue a career in curating, and that it wasn't your original choice. And that's something that I guess is quite common in the art world. This kind of
Probably.
yeah, it's kind of thinking about emerging curators, not necessarily in terms of it's a young curator fresh out of university, fresh out of college, but the kind of emerging curators as at the beginning of their careers. And then another thing you mentioned was writing, and that's what I would like to focus on now. You've written for loads of magazines. You have a lot of articles under your name. And can you tell us kind of why is writing important, or publishing in magazines important for curators, especially for emergent curators?
Definitely, like a huge part of the whole curation thing is also about like writing, it's the essential part of it. And to me, like I don't know, it's too much of it, because I always like thinking writing, let's say. I always like, scratching something, like drawing something when I'm like thinking about anything. So this is kind of important for me, but also it's good to, write in a critical way or in a proper way, because you can also always like apply to the fundings, like when you're creating all these projects and like project files, like presentations and stuff, you have to be super precise, and also like you have to prepare everything properly. So I think you have to be good in writing for your exhibitions and also for your projects. I'm sorry, by the way, Maria, I skipped the question, like the Turkish art scene part, which is also, I really care about it. So that's why I have to say something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yes. So the thing is, the Turkish art scene is really dynamic, and there are so less people in the art scene. So it makes the competition so tough, because like we're not so many people. And when I visit like Berlin and I come back to Turkey, always, let's say, I had this feeling that, okay, this scene is like more interesting and more exciting, and we have these kind of dynamics, because it's never so still. It's always like the fluctuation and everything. And so that's why I think it's kind of dynamic. And also we had this like biennial, it's just like Istanbul biennial has just ended, I think, in the previous week anyway. And we have a successful biennial ongoing one for 17. Yeah, it was a 17 edition. And we have this successful art fair, like a leading one. It's an internationally known one, by the way, and an art week also. Both art events are running twice in a year, which is perfect. And the thing is, now our country is suffering from the whole economical crisis and so on. So the currency is like fluctuating so much. So kind of that's my perspective, but I don't know, like maybe people won't agree with me, but this makes the Turkish artists more desirable to the foreigner collectors, because like it's kind of like this fluctuation in the economy makes them more easy to approach to the Turkey-based artists, let's say. So yeah, there is this economical side of the issue too. So as I can say, yeah, it's a really dynamic scene. It's going on in Turkey. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting for me to hear, and I'm sure for people who are listening in as well. And my other question, which kind of connects with this one as well, so I assume that from what you say, it seems that kind of Turkish art scene, Turkish artists are becoming more desirable for the more international, like entering more easily the international art scene. And
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. Actually, this is kind of different that you're saying. I'm just saying that it becomes like the artworks become more like let's say desirable because of the price. I'm not saying that they are cheap or like it's underpriced, undervalued or something, but the whole currency thing makes it more like, you know, approachable, let's say.
Yeah. I meant it in a way that the kind of the focus also shifts in different directions.
Yeah.
But you're also a member of associations and organizations. One of them being CIMAM, the International Committee for Museums and Collections of Modern Art. Could you tell us what being a member involves, and how is it important for curators to be part of committees, associations?
Actually, I'm a super fresh member, as you know. Like I don't know, I joined the club, yeah, like 4 months ago. But since then, it's really I can feel the whole beneficiary part of being a CIMAM member. And I've joined the annual conference of CIMAM in Palma de Mallorca. It was 2 weeks ago, I guess, and we were over 200 art professionals, like curators, museum directors, museum professionals from all over the world. And it was really genuine. The whole gathering was super genuine. I can easily say that it's because of the whole CIMAM team and also the board of directors, the selection committee. And once again, I want to say like many thanks to Saha Association, they are the leading association from Turkey. They're supporting contemporary art for I don't know, like over 10 years maybe. So that's how I became the travel grantee and joined CIMAM. And this year they invited the independent voices too, like me. There were like museum curators, but also independent ones like me too. Because they want to discuss the things about being permeable, you know, the attentive museum topic. And also they want to listen to other people's, practices and the way of their perspective, like the way of their thinking. And it was really good. Like being a part of the organization it was really nice. And also I literally saw that we were like 200 curators in one room and nobody killed each other, which is perfect because it was like you can feel the common ground there. Everything was super fun. Like, yes, it's really in my heart right now.
Yeah, it sounds like, you know, kind of the aspect of having a network and a group of curators to share your, you know, experiences with is very important.
Yeah, but you know, it was like more than exchanging the whole business cards. It was super natural, and yeah, we discussed about so many things. Like, and the thing is, museums are always like super solid, and you know, they had this feeling that they look untouchable actually. But we discussed about these kind of issues, and yeah, we saw that there are some ways to break some certain laws that like they're like invisible laws, but they're still there. So yeah, it was really beneficiary for me, I should say.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now I'd like to move to kind of questions about your specific projects and exhibitions to kind of delve a bit deeper into your work. And I noticed some of the group exhibitions that you curated kind of touch on themes of post-anthropocentrism, ecological thinking, or, you know, use ecofeminist theory. The kind of examples that I'm talking about are terra incognita and love over entropy. Can you tell us more about these research interests and kind of how do they inform your work and your conversations, relationship with artists and institutions?
You picked really nice ones, by the way. Those exhibitions were my kind of favorite. There's a saying that I really like. It takes two to tango, you know, like do the whole beautiful dance of tango. So both exhibitions I have this really great team working with me at that time. I don't know like they're watching or not, but let's start from Love Over Entropy. And yeah, it's like, as I said before, it's like curating is always super personal for me. So it's just like reading, writing, and those kind of practicing, the way of practicing. It was like we were so intertwined with these activities. I was so intertwined with these activities. And I really love to listen my friends around me. So love over entropy is related to the context of being sapiosexual. And so yes, I did my research, and one of my friends actually, she told me that, oh, there are some peoples, and you know what, I'm a sapiosexual. And I thought that, okay, what is like being sapiosexual? I don't know it. And she told me that you are like attracting by the intelligence of people, the smartness of people, nothing more. You're not attaching to, you know, like any kind of physical appearance and stuff. So okay, I just thought that, okay, that's an interesting topic to research for. And I dig a lot and find out that, you know, like there are so many people being sapiosexual. Like some women actually prefer Stephen Hawking to Brad Pitt, and there are some research, like really solid evidence for these kind of issues. Anyway, so it's kind of like born out from my friends' daily chit chat, let's say. So, but as I started to research more and more, I figured out that I realized that we have this obsession to be smart, to attach the smart, not in our like private lives, not in our like sexual relationships or whatever. We really want to like use like communication devices in a smart way. Like we want to live in smart houses, smart cities, and smart stuff. Like we prefer everything smart more and more. So that gave me the idea to, okay, like there is this era that it starts now, and we care about more and more about being smart, and we're attaching to that. So that's how love over entropy actually came up to my mind. And there is this saying also in the exhibition. Actually, the exhibition's title was an electronic music piece. It's one of my favorite DJs, Dixon's. Anyway, it's a song, and what basically says that like the whole ancient behaviors, you know, type of relationships, and you know, like the personal relationships, the way we live, like the architecture is dying, and we're switching into a new one, and this is the smart one. And it's also like related to the entropy law. So that's how the entropic part of the title articulates to the exhibition actually. So that's a huge package, and it was one of my favorite exhibitions. Yeah, and also I must mention her name because we were working at one of my like friends. She's a really brilliant artist. Her name is Lal, and she helped me a lot, and we were creating the whole context together, which I was also super lucky to have her. Yeah, and the other one you were talking about, what was it?
Terra Incognita.
Terra Incognita, yes. So that one is also came out because of actually I'm living in a country really driven by to construct something into any kind of places, you know, like we have this lack of green areas in our country right now. And also defending the green areas are considered as politics somehow, which is, I don't really agree to that, because it's not politics. We're just like defending to live in some green spaces. So anyway, that's how the whole terra incognita issue born out. And I use the tree metaphor there because the trees are coming from our, you know, like we see trees in genealogy and also in ecology. It's also super ideological because it represents something in Turkey, especially in Istanbul. So it's kind of like bringing a critic into all these kind of, let's say, ecological problems by using the narrative of the tree metaphor. So yes, that was also one of my favorite exhibitions, and also it was super personal too. Yes, I don't know, like I don't want to skip anything, but I think we're using our time right now. Good. I don't know, like just warn me
Yeah,
if I'm
absolutely.
talking too much.
No,
Please.
absolutely. I think
Okay.
you touched upon very interesting issues, kind of that are,
Mm-hmm.
local and personal to you. Um, that is super interesting to hear about. But also, you mentioned that like love over entropy kind of
Mm-hmm.
was born out of a chit chat with your friend, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's um, a lot of projects are born this way, and I think that's kind of an amazing way to start projects, start thinking about issues that, like, I think we don't talk enough about. And I think that's kind of what you're emphasizing again, is the
Definitely.
network, the people that you're kind of surrounded by that help you create all these projects and exhibitions.
Definitely. And also, like, if you're not, if you can't be super connected what's going on around you, like if you're not having conversations with your friends, like, the controversial ones and everybody else around you, it becomes, the discourses are, they're like getting same, you're not doing anything else, you're not pointing out anything, because actually you're not testing yourself, you're just like doing your
Mm.
research and doing kind of like a usual suspect context, or I don't know, like, use the whole same exhibition method, like exhibition design, that you always use it, and you're doing like, so I don't know, like I think being creative is definitely um, related to be engaged with the others. So that's why I think collectively producing and collectively thinking is so important. Like imagine the all artists that living in, actually like producing in collective areas, like huge spaces together, which I saw it in Berlin so much. We don't have that kind of spaces in Turkey.
Mm.
The artists have mostly like the individual spaces, and I think it affects it so much, yeah, like the whole production process, because yeah, it's nice to be, like communicating with the others, and like thinking about your work and stuff. So that's why I think like open studio thing is so important, which is another discussion topic. But yes,
Yeah, no, thank you. That's very like if
yeah.
yeah, and please let us know, people who are listening, in the comments, like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? If you agree, what's your experience with kind of working spaces and how they affect your ability to create and curate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one more question about your work is, I wanted to ask you about the project that you called Limbo. Um, that's a project by a Turkish female artist, Canan Tolan. I'm going to read this out, but I'd like you to kind of clarify and tell us a bit more. So the installation explores the metaphor of common living spaces that arise from the
Mm-hmm.
meeting of artificial and natural materials.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can you kind of expand on that, tell us about this project? And then
Of
kind of
course.
another question leading to it is, what was your curatorial role in this case, kind of as
Mm-hmm.
acting as a support or being a co-producer? Yeah, I'm very curious kind of about what
Mm-hmm.
you think your kind of role is in this work.
Actually, this is good because we also discussed it, this specific thing, like being a co-producer or a curator at the same time in one project. And, like during Loop professional talks, actually, it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Anyway, we were like 4 curators, different parts of the world. And we all agreed that we are also co-producers. So that
Mm.
exhibition is kind of like uh, the artist is one of the most established ones in Turkey, by the way. She's super brilliant, and she was super talented, and also she's good at, like, she's just like a Renaissance person, you know, she can do everything at, you know. I was so lucky because from the scratch, like from the beginning, she drove the whole plan. Also, she's coming from like an architectural background, so she is super about like the whole calculations and stuff. Yeah, and also the idea was super strong after the pandemic being in a suspended state, you know, like all like the statement of being cannot move, let's say. So the thing is, we were super ready for the whole installation and also for the whole aspects of the exhibition, but the venue was so hard, so tough to implement our idea, because it was like an old Ottoman factory, like it used for militaristic purposes in the past, and we used the whole we used to have a gallery there. The foundation that I work for has this gallery there, and all of the venue, just because it's a historical place, it's so hard to, you know, hang something, and also like you cannot move so freely in this space, and we have some limitations, which I really like, because the limitations is always it makes you stronger in your practice, and if they are like venue related, not people related, because we also have like people related limitations too. Anyway, it was the venue related limitations, which was really good for me. And me and the team, we worked really like we were like, I don't know, like it was a good team. Anyway, and also the artist she was super supportive in every aspect of the installation process. And yeah, we finally find a way to, you know, balance all the swings, because we have like, I don't know, over 70 swings, and also we have these like huge plates on the floor, full with water, and it's kind of like a process. It was the one of the most process-based exhibition that I curated, because we waited for, you know, the water to be full, and also like the grass to grow, and, you know, the whole hanging part of the swings and stuff. It was kind of really a process-based exhibition, and also yeah, that was one of my favorites too. Thank you for reminding me that, by the way. Yes, it's so nice to work with John on Tolonos. I'm so proud of that project.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. There's these projects that I mentioned are also included in a carousel on our Instagram page, where you can kind of see images, but obviously there's you can go to IHS website and find more information there as well, just to kind of visualize them better. Because yeah, it's really, even looking at the photos, it's a very impressive installation and project.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. And I'm going to end with one last question, which is, could you share with us what you're working on currently, or what you have planned?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one I'm afraid of, because you know, I don't know, like the whole job makes me a superstitious person, which I was not like this in the beginning, but you know, like sharing your whole current project and stuff. And in Turkey we have this kind of a belief, I don't know, like but I will tell you anyway. So because I'm super excited for the upcoming ones, I'm gonna have an exhibition in the spring in Istanbul, and I have like another one in Berlin that I'm working on for, and I also have another one which is going to be launched at the end of December. And I'm going to start from the December one, because it's in cooperation with Turkish Airlines, which their first contemporary art project. They never did it before. They never done it before. And I have 4 artists in the selection. Definitely, like, I'm gonna post the details in the upcoming days. And what I inspired, you know, like the way, you know, it's kind of like a Bible for all of us, the Ways of Curating book of Hans Ulrich Obrist. Anyway, one of his first projects he did in in earlier stage of his career was the collaboration between the Swiss Air, and also it was one of my favorite projects too. So I was always like have this craving for curating an exhibition with the leading airline of our country, and also I wanted to be in the actual plane, actually, like, you know, during the whole flight. It's not like that, but it's kind of it's kind of similar. And also it's going to be their first project, so I'm super excited for that. And I have another project for a communal gallery in Berlin, which is going to be shaped so soon. That's why I've actually like built whole like this double life right now, like going to Berlin and coming back to Istanbul. And I also have some other projects there, but I don't want to mention them right now. Anyway, and the other one in spring, in 2023, it's going to be an historical building in Istanbul, which is, I'm super excited for that. And it's the third edition of a social charity project. Like, it's a side exhibition, but it's going to be, you know, there will be some public programs like interviews and also performances, and these kind of public programs articulated to the whole exhibition and the whole venue. I'm designing the whole space as like a collective healing center for women. So yeah, it's just also gathering in some, I don't know, like gathering is kind of like not possible in Istanbul right now for some specific occasions. And 8 March is also one of kind of specific, especially, yes. It's so exciting for me to that. Is it okay right now, right? You can hear me.
Yeah, I can. I
okay.
think just something just disconnected for 1 second, but I think I heard you well. This is all really exciting. So like really great projects. The Turkish Airlines and the Healing Center.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like a still. I cannot believe it because I chased it for so long, really so long, and yeah, it finally happens, and I'm with really super strong artists in this project. I really, let's say, we are partners in the project, and they helped me really a lot to, you know, see the final result. And I would like to thank them from here. If I don't know, like, if they're watching or not, but yes, that's kind of motivating.
That's really fantastic to hear. Thank you so much for sharing so generously about your work, your past work, your approaches, and your future projects. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for everyone who joined us today. Really
I know
lovely
a question to you, actually.
Yeah.
I know a question to you. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so why did you pick aquarium at the first place? It's kind of like a hard place to cure. I think it was your dream or something.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, to be honest, I was trying to think about places that are quite that can be quite difficult to curate in as well. Like, I thought the mountain trail was very very challenging. That's why I think you said, you know, about the budget, that like if you have but
I cannot imagine the budget, like, really, and also like the whole safety and everything. But nature is always a good limitation, you know, it always trains you somehow. So yes, but I understand that it was your passion to curate in an aquarium. Yeah, it's the first place.
Yeah, I thought, you know, we can just let our imagination kind of flow in this case.
Yeah, definitely.
With all the budget, all the resources that we can have. Thank you so much, and
thanks to you.
Thank you. So this conversation is going to be published on our Instagram page and on YouTube, on our all social channels. So if you didn't join from the beginning, you can catch up very soon. And yeah, this was an event with AICA Okay as part of the called for Curators Members Quiz, and AICA is one of our members, and so Call for Curators has this members scheme through which you can access exclusive events, more opportunities, and newsletter especially prepared for the members. And yeah, you can try it free for 1 week if you'd like. You can go to our link in bio and check it out. And thank you to everyone for your comments as well. Yeah,
Yes,
someone said
thank
that they
you so
enjoyed the
much.
conversation. I very much enjoyed it too.
It was a really good Monday night. You know, I wasn't expecting that, but I know that I'm like a chatterbox person, but still, it was too good. Thanks to you for your like genuine moderation and everything.
Thank you very much.
Platform too. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, and yeah, enjoy your Monday evenings. And yeah, we'll see you again very soon. Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna disconnect now. Bye bye.